What's up, guys? It is Maxwell, and today I would like to talk the state of the game Clash of Clans, and of course, especially focused on the competitive scene. What's up, guys? Welcome to the video, and as we talk about this, let's watch a couple of new meta replays because why not? Um, so yeah, a couple things I want to talk about today. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. I actually recorded once already and wasn't happy with it, so gonna do this over again. And there's a couple things I want to talk about with you guys. First of all, Champions War League and the competitive Clash of Clans community. Its admins, the best clans then and now. Clash of Clans compared to other games, and then of course cheating. So state of the game right now, in my opinion, for the competitive, from a competitive aspect, it's not good because the way people are playing right now is way different than how it used to be, and why that is, we're gonna get into that, of course. But um, the way it is right now, competitive is dying out for lots of players, including myself, of course. You guys know that I recently retired for the competitive scene. We're going to get into the reasons for that a little bit more today as well. Or maybe you're just going to be able to understand a bit better why I made that decision to step away from the competitive scene for now. And first of all, though, the Champions War League. Champions War League was introduced. Everybody was really hyped. Like, great idea, great name, sounds awesome. And I guess in some way you could argue that CWL is pretty successful because it gets like fully supported by Supercell. They are inviting the finalists of invite to Estonia or to Helsinki or wherever they decide to do the final every season, which is definitely pretty awesome. Which is like a little bit of a reward, at least for the people that do so well. Um, but as a whole, I think that CWL has failed, and I think so because um, they have just failed to create a level playing field for everybody. Um, I feel that way because at this point where we are now in 2018, it is very apparent that like a lot of people are cheating, and we're gonna get into how they are cheating and why later as well. But CWL has failed, in my opinion, because it never turned out to be what is was originally supposed to be, which is like the greatest and a clean league for all clans, and etc. etc. One example for that, I just want to give really quickly. CWL has actually numerous times already broken their own rules. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but for example, um, between season 3 and season 4, and let's watch a replay from the other side as well, because why not? Um, Interesting troop and spell composition here by 2.0. They have broken their own rules. For example, WHF got banned in season 3 because Mies the best, still a good account name by the way, was closet modding, of course, and he was a co-leader of WHF and played so many accounts there, and they got banned from CWL. Their entire clan received a 2-week clan war ban, and they got banned from CWL in the playoffs. Now, at that point there was a rule in existence in CWL that no clan that is banned inside in the playoffs can participate in the next season. However, because WHF were so awesome, or maybe because their YouTuber at the time had so much influence, they were actually playing in season 4, which is something that should never have happened. Now, other than that, I believe that CWL have done a lot of things to not let quote unquote shady clans into the league. I know that because I know all the effort that went into getting War Whales into season 4, and all the conversations that we had, or that John, as our leader at the point, had with admins and all that good stuff. So I think that they are trying their hardest to make sure the admins are. But the thing is just that CWL admins as a whole are not top level players. I mean, there's a couple of admins, of course, that are pretty decent players, but I also know some other admins, and not every, like, the majority of the CWL admins are just not top level players, and that's definitely something that is hindering them. Now, why is that? It's very logical that it is that way, because You know, the top level players, they like to FC, build bases, and practice their attacks, and not worry about other people's problems and regulating that. So it makes complete sense, but that's just something that you have to keep in mind. Now, and how did something that also really stood out to me? This is like a completely different topic. Let's watch one more. Why not? But the best clans in the game, the best clans in Champions War League, which is of course the most elite league inside the game. Um, how did that change? Like back in the day, it was like basically two clans that you were scared of. Back when I was in DLZ, there was two clans we were scared of: War Whales and DL, the big clan, the main clan, Dog Looters. Now, basically on any given day, any clan can beat any clan. That's because of the meta has gotten easier, obviously, but that's also because cheating has developed. And how do you cheat in Clash of Clans? Back in the day, there were people were using, of course, modifications for the game itself, like Xmod, iMod, all that good stuff. However, that stuff was pretty easy to detect for Supercell, so it was easy for them to just scan the clans and ban the players. However, back in the day already, I talked to some people who know a lot more about IT than I do, and IT as in computer technologies, of course. And they told me cheating is never gonna stop because if they keep on like banning the modding programs, then the modders are just gonna create a private server, which is of course exactly what happened. And the private server is of course not something that's modifying the game. It's something completely separate. It's definitely basically a different application, so it cannot be detected. And cheaters that are currently cheating via private server do get banned. Now, for all of you that don't know what that exactly means, private server is basically a copy of the game Clash of Clans. There's just a couple of differences. For example, you can build bases and attack them without the 24-hour cooldown. So you can, for example, if you are warring me and you're using a private server, you can, as soon as the war starts, you copy my base, you guess the traps, or you either scout the base so you know the traps. You recreate that base on the private server, and then you can attack it. Once again, the technical term is sandbox it, because sandboxing, running something over and over and over until you just know how it can get destroyed in that case. You're sandboxing it until you know with what army, what spell composition, what timing in the attack you are gonna consistently 3-star the base. It's basically like practicing in Friendly Challenge, for example, and then you go back in the game, you execute the war attack and you triple, and you have the fame. Now, why are people doing that? I already answered, for fame. That's the only reason to look good inside Clash of Clans. That's why they are spending hours to build bases and hours to. Let's watch another one right here. Why not? Curry with some interesting giant deployment. I already saw that a bit earlier. For the fame inside the game, or maybe to make it to Estonia, make it to the finals one time. I mean, One Glory, the best example. They were cheating the entire time. They made it to the finals. They had 6 individual people modding, and still Supercell was not able to keep them from going there and to keep them from participating in the final, which is honestly a pretty scary prospect. But yeah, so cheating has developed to a point where it cannot be detected, at least not by any program. This is where we get back to CWL, the problems with the admins, because I think overall the admins are definitely trying their best to help CWL out, obviously. However, how do you detect a cheater at this point in time? Well, it's very tough to detect one. You can basically you can never know. There is never going to be proof because, of course, no cheater ever is going to admit to cheating. Like, if you have talked to closet models before, they never admit. Like, their best friends would defend them. Like, basically, for example, back in the day when Mies, the WHF co-leader and SL member, when he got caught, he, for example, made Tony until the very end. He made him believe that he was not cheating and all that good stuff, and Tony would defend him. So you're not gonna catch the cheaters because they're not gonna admit to what they're doing. Never gonna do it, even if they get revealed. and you have no way to prove it because you cannot, like, unless you get video footage of them doing it on the private server, which you're of course not gonna get because they're not gonna give it to you and you can't get it. So there's no way to reveal the cheaters other than just being able to tell from their attacks, because these cheaters, these modders, they like to show off sometimes. They like to show off how great they are. And how do they do that? Well, they do it with extra crazy special attacks. For example, they just skip funneling. They they do a queen walk and they funnel in a way that no fair play player would funnel, because they are just like not funneling one side of the base. And why are they not doing that? Because they already know what's gonna happen. They have sandboxed it, they have practiced it back in a friendly challenge, so they know they don't need the wizard or the baby dragon to funnel that side of the base, so they're able to just skip that. Look cool, but in that sense also reveal themselves. So how do you catch a very smart closet that doesn't make those mistakes? You don't catch him. It's impossible. Like the best players inside the game, they could have all been modding, and you wouldn't know because with the private server, because it's not detectable. Like if you're gonna be able to keep your attitude down and like keep calm and don't reveal yourself, you're never gonna be caught. And that's just like the issue. All of a sudden, there's clans that are coming up that are so OP, like Forbidden or Warzone or North Watchers are all of a sudden so OP, and Agent is six packing every war 11v11. Like that just doesn't happen. I've played with the best fair play players inside the game. I've spent numerous hours on voice with them, and I think I'm pretty sure I know what's possible and what's not possible. And at this point, it's come to who's got the smartest closets that don't get revealed, who's got the most closet modders, who's got the most people using private servers and not getting detected. And that's just very tough. And on top of that, of course, we have a very toxic community accusing each other every time somebody has a good attack. Like, of course, there's also some pretty crazy fair play attacks, some pretty crazy attacks that are practiced in friendly challenge or something like that. And whenever that happens, of course, everybody gets accused also. So it has just come to a point where it's so frustrating because you're playing against somebody and you, like, they're gonna say nice, good game, well played to you, but ultimately you can never know if they're being sincere about it or if they just cheated in your face. And that's just something that's so frustrating that for example, I lost motivation for the game already weeks before I got kicked from Orwell's, because um, there was just wars happening and attacks happening. Like, you go up against these clans and you know that you can never win because they're just gonna cheat so much that it's just gonna be enough for them to win. It looks so close. Oh, great war! Let's post it on Twitter. But you realistically, you don't have a chance to win. So, and of course, they're gonna say, well, but if that attack of yours would have tripled, then you would have won. Yeah, that's that. Situations like that also happen because they all of a sudden get overwhelmed by the other clan and they didn't crack enough, and they're probably even happy about that because they are putting their victory at risk by just cracking the amount that will usually give them enough advantage to win, but will not make it that obvious. Like, for example, winning on percentage at the star draw or something we saw several times. And there's the problem with that is there are still so many people that well, almost everybody cannot see it. Like, they will not notice the difference between a clan or players that are constantly cheating and constantly sandboxing and fair play players, of course, because the cheaters, they sometimes they are the most popular players. They have so much support and they're such great guys and so nice, and everybody's has their back that they I mean, they're probably probably laughing their asses off because they even get supported by admins. Like, a lot of the time, these people are even gonna hide in clans where there's, oh no, let's not watch this. Um, let's see. Oh, some couple new account names. Who knows how shady they are? I guess we're gonna find out soon. Hey, if they ever get revealed, I'll sure have the footage for you guys. Um, they are hiding in admin clans, making friend with admins, playing like playing a fun, good game, and that way they just get their coverage. Now, why? How could it come to this point? Why is Supercell not doing more about this? Well, Supercell created this mess by themselves because um, the way the game is. Let's compare Clash of Clans to other games, to competitive games, to esports games, like for example League of Legends or World of Warcraft or Clash Royale even. Supercell, if you're not following Clash Royale, which I am, you probably don't know this, but Supercell just hired the Rumham for their Clash Royale team. Now, the Rumham, he is mostly known as a caster, but he's of course also a Clash Royale player himself. He's also following the competitive scene, and he's not. Admits he says it himself that he's not the greatest player ever, but he's definitely he knows what's up. He's close to the competitive community. He knows what's up. He watches a lot of stuff, and they just hired him for balance changes for Clash Royale. Now, why is Clash of Clans not doing that? Why are they not hiring somebody to create balance changes or improve the game in a way that it will make the competitive scene better? That's because Clash of Clans, in the opinion of Supercell, is not in a bad spot, and a lot of us are probably gonna say, "Well, everybody's retiring. Some of the best players are retiring. The competitive scene, everybody's modding, everybody's accusing everybody else. How are we not in a bad spot?" Well, Supercell is making a bunch of money every day out of this game, and so it's successful for them. It's definitely successful, and that's why they are not gonna change anything, or they don't have any desires or plans on changing anything. And it's just something that we're gonna have to live with, and that's why the competitive scene is just never gonna be like it is in other games. Like for example, Clash Royale, real time 1v1. You have complete control. You can always definitely make sure that nobody is cheating. Or same for League of Legends, or same for World of Warcraft. They have really easy programs to determine if somebody is cheating or not, and then they get banned really really quickly. And that's just not possible in Clash of Clans because the game is so slow, because a war takes 24 hours and an interaction doesn't just take minutes or seconds like in other games. So basically, the way why the game is like it is makes it so that it's never gonna be possible to eliminate cheating from the game. It's very sad, but if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. And it's never gonna be a game that is free of cheating, because and also that's something that Supercell understand, I believe. And that's also part of the reason for why they are not investing money on it. They are not hiring any people to help them out with balance changes, and they also don't have the esports, the competitive appreciation for the game. For example, the Clash Royale casters, they get paid thousands of euros and dollars and whatever to cast Clash Royale games or events. Clash of Clans. Now, I have casted myself in the past several times, so I know this because I talked to this about this to Supercell. For Clash of Clans casters, they don't um, like. There's no budget for for paying casters. Like it's just not there, and it's never gonna be there. And Supercell is not gonna invest in that because, from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense. Clash of Clans never gonna be an esports game. It's never gonna be a really competitive game. Um, so it doesn't make sense to invest in that. And if that's something that you understand at some point, then that's just very frustrating for you as a competitive player. And that's also why a lot of the best players in the game are currently retiring or have already retired. And I think that Powerbang also made a great video about another aspect. If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna try to remember to link that below. About a month ago, he made a video about where is Clash of Clans on his channel, because he has quit covering Clash of Clans and his YouTube channel has doubled the size in the last, I think, like year or not even year. Powerbank, of course, always been a great content creator, but never really got the views just because he was covering Clash of Clans. And that's Supercell's Supercell not being transparent. Like they like to keep things for themselves. And I have met the people from Supercell several times now, and you know, once you talk to them, and I've talked to them for long times now, you exactly get to understand the orders that they get, which is basically don't give anything away. Like don't talk to anybody about anything. Like uh, keep it all to Supercell, and don't just like whenever you talk to these people, to the players, to the content creators, just don't give too much away. And that's just like this policy of being intransparent about Clash of Clans. That's, I think, in my opinion, that's just the wrong way to go about it. Like they are not even trying to interact or get the community's feedback in, because the competitive scene is just not relevant to them. And you're gonna say, yes, but we're the most dedicated players. We spend so much money on the game. Yeah, but compared to what Clash of Clans is making with casual players, that's nothing, because the competitive scene is nothing compared to the casual scene. The amount of players, if you compare them, it's a joke. Like from a business standpoint, Supercell is doing just fine. They're doing everything correct. Millions of people are playing Clash of Clans every day, and from that standpoint, it's all good. But for the competitive scene, there's no there's no hope. And I know we just had the Town 12 update. A couple of things changed, like stuff against engineering, which of course does not affect the competitive war scene at all, because there is no engineered account. So that didn't help us. And there has really been, for like 2 years or something, there has been no updates that have tried to do anything against cheating. So if people are trying to like hype you up about competitive Clash of Clans, you might want to listen closely, because in my opinion, it's never gonna change to the point where it's gonna get to, and that's just based on how the game is. And it hurts to understand that and to admit that as well, because I also love the game. I'm still playing, although I'm not playing in the competitive scene anymore. It's never gonna come to a point where you're gonna say, yes, this is fair anymore, and or where you can truly feel like it's been a fair contest anymore. And that's just sad, but that's just the way it is based on the nature. So if you're really looking to play in a competitive environment, and where yes, I'm the best player, I played the best today, so I won. That's just not gonna be Clash of Clans, and it's very sad, but the state of the game. That's just how it is. Like we're not gonna, because of the nature of the game, we're never gonna get to a point where um, we're gonna be able to say it's fair. And of course, a lot of this cheating, it never gets detected, because most of the players are not good enough to be able to see the difference between a sandbox attack and a fair attack, or a player that is constantly sandboxing and the player that's not, just because they are not good enough to see, not good enough players themselves to see the differences. So you're probably not even gonna know a lot of times. And also we have a lot of YouTubers even covering up those cheating clans, because either they want the views or they don't know it better. And that's just something that like has led to a pretty big depression overall. So that's where we're at, and I'm sorry it is that way. GG's to 2.0. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. I hope it was interesting for you. Sorry if I tried to keep it short. Didn't want to have it be too long. Sorry if it was still too long. But if you listened, if you watched, thank you for that. More videos coming for sure, and there's gonna be one special one very soon here, maybe even tomorrow. It's gonna be quite fun. And yeah, until that time, I will see you all later. Peace out.